Yo, what's good, everybody? This is Cosmic once again. Thanks for tuning in to Opinion Stated on my channel here. And man, today I really want to jump right into this. I know there is so much chatter on social media and in just the media space in general surrounding young Bronny James being drafted by the LA Lakers, number 55 overall in the second round, in yesterday's draft. Congratulations, first of all, to Bronny James. I want to address, this nepotism angle and everything else that's kind of being painted. But before I do that, I want to have you all listen to, and I do want to say, so just to be clear, before people even view another moment further in this video, I am Team Bronny James. There's another video on my page where I actually talked about, or just posed, an opinion surrounding Bronny James being worthy of a draft pick, being expended on him in this league. So I am Team Bronny 100%. So please don't think that this is a Bronny James or LeBron James hate video, as the media keeps trying to spin this narrative that anybody who is in opposition to the silliness is somehow a hater. It's not hate. We just see right through the foolishness. And before I jump into my opinions on the matter, I want to have you guys take a look at, or take a listen rather, to an audio from none other than one of the funniest, most entertaining, but sometimes clownish individuals on TV. And I'm a fan of Nick Wright also, but man, sometimes he is just so far off his rocker that it's annoying how he conflates arguments, etc., in a single statement, and contradicts himself and then answers his questions. And you'll hear it some in this audio. Take a listen.
Happy moment in LA. Here's Bronny being drafted. Some skepticism in the media. A friend of the show, Vincent Goodwell, had a great article and kind of an incendiary tweet. That's probably too much. I thought the tweet was good. Lakers are a family-run organization. The Buss family, the Randis family, and now the James family. If there's one organization that couldn't thumb its nose at a star wanting this particular wish, it's the Lakers. It can still be cringy, too. Nick, is skepticism around the pick warranted?
I think the coverage of this has been absolutely maddening. Wow. And so disingenuous by so many people.
I buy that.
So, a couple things that no one has ever pretended to care about in the NBA are now hot button issues. The nepotism piece of it. I'm old enough to remember Costas Athanasiou being picks in the 50s or the 60th pick. And not a single person was like, there's a 4-year senior out there who's having his moment stolen because a team wants to kiss up to Giannis Antetokounmpo. Nobody cared. The value of second-round picks. Day before yesterday, Dylan Jones, the 26th pick of the draft, was traded straight up for 5 second-round picks. Last night, the 52nd pick of the draft was traded for cash. About $2 million. Wire it to me. We'll take some in Bitcoin. That's it. No one cares. And now all of a sudden people's obvious, transparent dislike or jealousy or whatever of LeBron has colored this whole thing. Because I guarantee you, if in 15 years, Cannon Curry, Steph's youngest, is a fringe NBA prospect, and the Warriors are like, you know what? It's a good story. I think he's a good kid, and he's got a shot. We have him 71st on our board. We'll draft him 58th. The think pieces aren't coming. Instead, people are like, that's awesome. Yeah. That is super dope. And this should have been celebrated like that.
I think having some skepticism is fair, and you don't need to be maligned to, like, how dare you be skeptical?
No, I don't know. So, but here's the thing. I don't think this is where I think the skeptics. I think there's a bit of straw manning going on. I haven't heard a single person being like, "What a coincidence! Why, that is crazy that happened. That the Lakers happened to draft Bronny James." I haven't heard no one has argued. There has not been a single person out there saying that this is totally unrelated. This is just the player they wanted. Yeah. And if no one is
why would somebody say that?
Right. Who? Who would ask that? And why would nobody ask that question? Chris Broussard posted, like, who would say that? Like, who would? Who would be who? And for what reason would they have to pose that kind of a statement surrounding it? LeBron James literally stated a few seasons ago that he or made known his interest of playing with his son, his desire to play with his son in this NBA that he has helped to strengthen and to build. And man, it was like, yo, that would be super dope. I'd love to see it as a fan. Like, that would be dope. And then as time has gone on, the actual reality of the story has played out a little bit different in terms of what Bronny has done on the court, what he did when he got to college, his cardiac arrest issue notwithstanding, but him actually playing and then his production amongst his peers in college and how that actually worked itself out. And as it stands, that beyond just his stats, because can we all agree that perhaps Bronny James is much better than his college stats? As a lot of players tend to be much better than their actual college stats or their high school stats or their gym league stats. Stats are just stats, man. So maybe his actual ability to play and his fit on a team will be different. But that's neither here nor there. After this kid's production wasn't quite up to par wasn't nearly up to par in college at USC, step further, after having him actually work out for NBA teams, to be showcased at the NBA Combine for individuals who own teams or manage teams that literally employ 400 of the top basketball players in the industry, where the best of the best in that field are actually employed, didn't think him impressive enough to actually expend a draft pick on him. But before that, LeBron James began saying, like, hey, whatever Bronny decides to do, I don't really want to make this about me. It's his decision. We don't necessarily have to play with each other on the same court, et cetera. So it's almost like he was running this damage control, not because the kid wouldn't get picked or he wouldn't be able to use his influence, which we're understanding as nepotism, to get his son drafted or signed to the team that he actually plays for. He knew that it would be a bad look. And we all understood that it's just the optics of it, just kind of weird. Now, do we have a problem with it? No, we do not have a problem with it if it's painted in that way. I have no issue with LeBron James playing with his son and the Lakers actually drafting him as it was initially set up by him saying, man, look, I have a desire to play with my son. So if you just call a spade, man, a spade's a spade. Hey, I just want to play with my son, man. I know it didn't quite work out for him in the draft combine, etc. But man, I mean, I'm LeBron James. I'm LeBron James. I'm gonna get my son picked up on this mob so that I can play with him, and so that we can play together and we can have this magical historical moment. It will be one of the best and greatest things that I could possibly ever wish for in my career at this point, after all the accolades and achievements that he's piled up. Man, that would be noble, and nobody will have a problem with it. But to paint it as though somehow it's not nepotism and I didn't have anything to do with it, when you held, or rather restricted, maybe not LeBron himself, but his representation, which I'm certain he has influence over, not even allow this kid, being Bronny James, to go out and practice or perform in workouts in front of the 30 teams in the NBA who could actually hire him, draft him, sign him. So you're telling me that the employers of the top and everybody in that field, the top 400, you're holding. I'm not going on the interview. You can't go in and work out with them. So you're selective about who he can actually go in and practice and work out for, but you're not manipulating the process of him getting picked up. It's just a silliness. It's an insult to our intelligence. It's an insult to our sensibilities. And that's the problem with it. It has nothing to do with any of us hating or being angry that nepotism was used in this case. We all get it. Don't put lipstick on a pig and tell us it's a lady. It's not a lady. It's a fucking pig with lipstick on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Seriously, it's annoying. It's annoying. So that's my only thing. And I just want to be clear. In my opinion, I do not have an issue with Bronny James being in the NBA if LeBron James leveraged his celebrity and his star power to get him in the league. But don't tell us that it's something different. We understand what it was. And you don't have to justify it by saying, well, nepotism has always existed and everybody else has done it. And why do you have a problem with it now? None of us have a problem with it. It doesn't make it right. Wrong is wrong. So technically, it's wrong. But because it's LeBron, we're like, it's cool. But when you have his agent reaching out to other teams telling them, man, if y'all draft him, well, he's not going to show up. We'll send him over to Australia before he comes and plays for your team. It's like, come on, bro. Like, what's going on here? What's happening here? You've already telegraphed the play. For people who play sports, you understand. When a person telegraphs a play, DBs in football understand it better than anybody else. They're going to pick that ball off and run it the other way. You know what I mean? Hoopers, they start understanding your pattern of dribbling and what you're doing. Just 2 dribbles with the right hand before you cross over. They're going to pluck you every time. And they're taking it back to the house the other way. It's a dunk on your head or a layup or a highlight of some kind. Come on, bro. You telegraphed the play for us and you let us know what it was. Don't try to call it something different. It's annoying. That's just my opinion. Bronny James, go, Bronny, go. Good luck to you, young brother. And hopefully, beyond this media circus that's going to be created around you playing with your dad, then you actually do have a pretty good career, bro. But don't media folks and other folks who might comment, don't paint everybody who has an opposing view some kind of a hater because we don't agree with your silliness. In my opinion, I'm Cosmic. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Blessings.